Hey guys, it's Andy. I'm back here for another Magic the Gathering deck tech. I would like to go over this deck right here. It's a mono blue deck that I made, and I really like the way these sleeves look. I just got these like a couple months ago when I was crafting the deck. I've never got a chance to play with the deck, so I'm going to hold off on the deck tech video, but I just wanted to showcase this because these are just the regular single sleeves, and I'm going to begin double sleeving all of my decks now, so I just wanted to showcase this deck in these OG Magic sleeves, because I never got a chance to play with it and just wanted it documented somewhere, because I really like the way this looks, but gotta switch it out. Anyway, today's deck tech is going to be another mono green. Like I said, that's just what I like the way green plays. I really like forests in real life. I don't know what to say, I just like mono green. This deck is it's sort of similar to my main green deck, Elder Growth, but this one's got quite a few differences. It's more of a gimmick deck than truly a competitive one, but I really like it. I really like the way it looks, and really like the way it looks and plays, so I'm excited to showcase it. To begin, I have 20 forests. 20 is usually my go-to when it comes to land in a deck. Like I said, I know the standard is like 24 or whatever, so the biggest criticism I know I'm going to receive on my deck tech videos is that I need more land, but again, like my other mono green deck, this deck has ways to alleviate the fact that I have structurally less land in the deck, which I'll of course go over. I only have two different forest arts in here, these two. I didn't have enough land to go around like I did in my main deck, so I tried to keep it as consistent as possible. So yep, that's the land. Again, like my other mono green, there probably could be other lands I could use, like Castle Garenbrig or something. I don't know, but I specifically wanted only forests in this deck for a reason you'll see in a bit. But let's just begin by moving on to my 1-drops. I only have 3 of them in here. I'm debating putting another one in here, but I only have 3 copies of Arboreal Grazer. I just feel it's a great ramp effect, the ability to just play an additional forest from your hand, as well as reach and the decent blocking ability, so I just feel it's a good card. Don't know if it's good enough to warrant a 4th copy. Probably is, but I only have 3 additional copies right now, so I only have 3 in the deck. But yeah, Arboreal Grazer is good for ramping and blocking early game, so yep, 3 copies of that. And that is actually my only 1-drop in the deck. I think I already said that, but yeah. So now let's move on to 2-drops. I have 3 Sylvan Rangers. It's like Borderland Ranger, except 1/1 instead of 2/2. Cost 2, but you get to search for a forest and add it to your hand. I feel like this is a better value than Borderland Ranger. Borderland Ranger is iconic, but I'm gonna try Sylvan Ranger in this deck just to see, like I believe it'll work better than Borderland Ranger. Being able to ramp early is going to be a key in the deck. So these 2 creatures are my early game ramp. And like I said, I probably could have 4 copies of them, but late game they don't serve much of a purpose, so I only have 3, but they do benefit me greatly early game, so that's why I have them. Now on to instants. I have 4 copies of Ram Through, which is just a staple in mono green. I just found out people play this in like non-mono green decks. It's that good of removal. I figured other colors have better removal options, but I guess this is just a good card in general, not even just mono green, so that's amazing. Love Ram Through. It's just removal with the condition that you need a creature, a strong creature on the field to get that effect to go off, but that's not a very difficult condition for this deck to fulfill. So it even has the ability to damage the opponent if one of my creatures has trample, which, spoiler alert, quite a few of them in here do have trample, so that's just a nice little addition that can sometimes go off. It's not a necessity at all, but a nice little bonus. Speaking of trample, I have 4 copies of this card, which just came out in the new Adventures in the Forgotten Realms set. It's called Bull's Strength. It's an instant that gives +2/+2 and trample, and allows you to untap a creature. This may seem a little strange of a choice at the moment, but as we get later into the deck, it'll be clear why this is a very important card in the overall strategy of the deck. But just in general, being able to grant +2 and trample until the end of a turn is nice. It's a little more costly than like Giant Growth or Blossoming Defense or stuff like that, but once we get later into the deck, you'll see why that card is so important. Moving on, I have one more 2-drop. This is a sorcery. This is Rampant Growth. I've never really utilized Rampant Growth. I did way back in the day in M9. I haven't used it like in my Elder Growth deck in like actually years. But in a deck like this, the goal is to actually ramp my lands as quickly as possible. So this is important. It's important enough that I have 4 copies of it. Ramping lands out of the deck and onto the field is definitely what the deck wants to do, and I just love this artwork. I like the other artworks of Rampant Growth too, but this one had to go with this one. And now we're at 3 drops, and let's just begin with the most important creature in the deck. 4 copies of Dungrove Elder. This card looks a little different than Dungrove Elder usually does. This is I guess a promotional version. They're all foil. I kind of like the artwork of the original Dungrove Elder better, but since Dungrove Elder is my favorite card, I figured I would get the alternative artwork, and it looks nice. They are foil. I don't usually like to play with foils because they kind of bend. You can't really tell because these double sleeves do an excellent job of straightening out any warps that may have happened. This one's still a little bad, but overall, yeah, Dungrove Elder, probably my favorite Magic the Gathering card. He's a 3-drop with power and toughness equal to the amount of force you have, so best case scenario, he'll be a 20/20 with hexproof. Yeah, Dungrove Elder really needs no explanation. I think it's a very slept on card. Maybe I'm missing something, but it's my favorite card, and definitely worthy of being a 4-drop in the deck because it is an integral part of the strategy, and that's why I use the name Respect Your Elders as the name of the deck. Even in a non-gimmick deck, he can put in plenty of work, but in a deck like this, he's the core strategy, so it's just a fun use of my favorite card. So yeah, Dungrove Elder, I think needs no explanation, but I explained it heavily anyway. So now on to another 3-drop creature. I have 4 copies of Old Growth Troll. This is a good card. I never really had a use for it in my main Elder Growth deck, just because I feel like Dungrove Elder is a better 3-drop overall, but in a deck like this, I feel like I can utilize both of them and get great value out of it. Old Growth Troll able to help ramp, and he's immediately 4/4 with trample. Some nice other effects as well. It's just a good card, and I like its inclusion alongside Dungrove Elder, so they don't have to compete like they did in my other deck. So this time both of them can be together, and it's very nice. They work well together. And now for the final 3-drop, I have an enchantment called Colossal Majesty, which just lets me draw a card if at the beginning of my upkeep I have a creature with 4 power or greater. Old Growth Troll automatically meets that requirement. Dungrove Elder, by the time I get Colossal Majesty out, is likely going to be 4/4. It is a conditional enchantment, but the condition is easily met in this deck. I only have 2 of them because like it's not super integral, but it helps, gets me some card advantage. That's why I have that here. Now on to 4 drops. I have this guy, Solemn Simulacrum, the card I just found out about. Basically, it ramps. Once you play it, you can put a land on the field, and when it dies, you can draw a card, so it's dual purpose. It's a good card. That's why I have 4 in here. I think 4 may be a little heavy. If I were to change this deck, I would probably drop one of these and replace it with an Arboreal Grazer. But at the moment, it doesn't seem too problematic, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Solemn Simulacrum is the only non-green creature the card in general in here. It's just a good effect. If you can't tell, by the way, the goal of the deck is to ramp forests out and onto the field to enhance Dungrove Elder, because by itself it is a win condition. There's some other caveats as well. We're almost done with the deck tech, but there's still a few more that we gotta go over. So here I have Primeval Titan, a card that was in my Amazon wish list since, when was it, 2013. I finally got it years later. I think I passed on it initially because it was expensive, but this year I finally decided to get a playset, and I have 3 in the deck. It's a 6-drop 6/6 with trample, and when it enters the battlefield or attacks, you can ramp a land out of your deck. Just more ways to generate lands out of the deck and improve Dungrove Elder, and the ability for the deck to do what it wants. You know, it's not all about pumping up Dungrove Elder, but that's definitely an integral part of the deck. So yep, there's that, and that is actually the final creature of the deck. So we have 3 primary attackers. I don't really consider Solemn, Arboreal Grazer, or Sylvan Ranger attackers, but these guys can definitely hold their own, so that is the goal with that. Now there's only 5 cards remaining in the deck. The first 3 is this, Colossification, and this is where the gimmick comes into play. This is a 7-drop enchantment that gives the enchanted creature +20/+20, with the caveat being that you need to tap the creature and give your opponent a turn to react. And that is why this card is so integral. Bull's Strength. It untaps a creature and gives it trample. The +2/+2 is going to be inconsequential because, best case scenario, this is going to be equipped to a Dungrove Elder. Well, I already have 10 land on the field, so it'll be 30/30 with trample and hexproof. And there isn't likely going to be a scenario where an opponent will be able to stop an onslaught like that. And if it can stop it for the turn, the enchantment will remain, so it'll still be +20/+20, which is just insane. When I first found out about this card, I was like, okay, this is just a gimmick, but I feel like this is a fun strategy that can fit into this sort of gimmicky deck. That is the main strategy. Get a Dungrove Elder out, pump him up with tons of forests, which will give me enough mana to be able to play Colossification and Bull's Strength and just end it on that turn. That is the main goal of the deck. It has other win conditions, of course, but that's the primary one. It's mainly supposed to go on Dungrove Elder just because he has hexproof. But if I do need to Colossification one of these guys, they also have trample. So there's options for the deck. It is somewhat of a combo deck, but it can function without the main combo going off. Now that's where the gimmick begins and ends, I guess. So, yep, there's that. And the final 2 cards in the deck, the Great Henge, boys. I don't even want to talk about how much these cards cost me, but it's an excellent addition to any deck, especially mono green, especially this. Upon getting these 2 copies, I've put it in my main deck, Elder Growth. So I only have these 2 copies, so I gotta switch sleeves when I switch decks. So that's why I've been double sleeving, so I can just swap out the sleeve within the sleeve and not have to worry about, you know, anything really. So yeah, Great Henge, it just rounds out the deck, makes everything mesh together. It's a 9-drop, but it decreases its own cost based on the most powerful creature I control, which on average, let's just say, is a 4/4 old growth troll. So it would be a 5-drop, but you can tap it to add 2, as well as gaining 2 life, just to stabilize. And the big effect allows you to draw a card whenever you play a creature. So the Great Henge needs no explanation of why it's an incredible card. So yeah, that is this deck, Respect Your Elders. Let me just try to get it all on screen real quick. Okay, so here it is. Like I said, it's a bit of a gimmick deck, a bit of a combo deck, but ultimately just a ramp heavy deck with the main win condition being Dungrove Elder. Colossification and Bull's Strength help him achieve that, but they aren't necessary. And yeah, that is the deck. So let me know what you guys think. I kind of like this one a little better than Elder Growth. Elder Growth is more inherently competitive. I've played with that one longer. I know how to play with it more. This deck is just fun though. I've had a lot of fun crafting it, a lot of fun looking at it, and a lot of fun playing with it. So let me know what you guys think. But that is going to conclude today's deck tech. I may actually show that blue deck next time. I don't know. We'll see. But hope you like the way this series is going. And yeah, that's all for today. So thanks for watching and have a good day, guys.